Grace and moderation. It is the year 1947. All is well. There is peace, order, and prosperity in all those lands which recognize the Holy Crown, and some degree of rowdiness in the transition zones from crown to non-crown land. Fortunately, our faithful and hard-working public servants are on the line, keeping the situation under control. We shall endure, and we shall triumph. Where to further recap, so we launched Allied War, managed to surge forward into a reasonable share of our land goals, mostly successful in North Italy and Yugoslavia, before digging in and establishing unending, permanent hell blender into which the Allies continue to throw wave after wave. There was less success at managing to drive into the Low Countries and try to make any sort of grand offensive maneuver into France. However, things are working out adequately. That's a big invasion. Hello, Mark Clark. Every so often, there's a sizable beach raid that we're able to swiftly put down by intervention from the Hussars. And otherwise, things are adequate. We have many personnel, even while maintaining less than strict laws. Thanks to a bit of the old lateral thinking with regards to recruitment policies. Have to endure indefinitely on the front. Then eventually, maybe someday, go to sea. Perhaps. For now, the land is our vessel. Right, I was meaning to get some police units down into the Balkans to start putting down some of the rowdiness that had accumulated. Folks back to work. A quick 10 set. That's what those every so often clicks have been. That's another sabotage going off. No thank you, Jim. It's fine. You do you. And still, Japan fights on, despite being very heavily overwhelmed. Such tenacity that's about to break. Right on the verge. We may shortly have to face the question of what happens when this incident finally concludes. Best case scenario is that, in recognition of the ongoing additional hostilities, no conference is called. If not, we'll just have to hope that we can proceed to properly annex all of occupied Germany. There is a perfectly legitimate German Empire, and it's us.
Utasítások. Figyelem!
Fine orb. It also had some of our bombers start doing anti-ship raids. A little bit as an experiment, but I think I'm going to discontinue that. We're managing to snag the occasional submarine and not much else. On rare notes, a destroyer. We'll bide our time. It was holding up reasonably well. The USSR kind of has the necessary critical mass that, unless the Heartland has been overrun, they will have bodies and productivity to spare. The larger you are, the more returns you get on increasing desperation. Needed. And here we are. Hell Conference begins. At least... Russia, you better not use that shitload of points. Get involved in my business. Look at these nonsense. These are the ones I have cores on. And they cost more than Franken or Württemberg. Russia has all of these points because they have been fighting and dying in Siberia for years. And for that, they have twice as many points as we do. That's a lot, but not insurmountably more. And there are no allies at the table. This is just a peace conference between us and Joe. The democracies are not invited to this treaty. Okay, we might get away with this. You... Ooh. That's too much. Okay, I can get my 2 cores right away, so let's get that. Actually, right, Sudeten's important. The mountain land, the whole reason this got started, that further got borked by the event being weird. That's a good initial stretch. That keeps the border looking vaguely cogent for a first wave. Like, Stalin's attention is mostly out east. So, for my next turn, Pomerania can't quite get Pomerania. Can get East Prussia. I can get. Wow, Memel. Why? How? What? What? Who? Memel. Memel too strong. Memel somehow fiendishly expensive. What is the math governing the point costs of all of these territories? Like, okay, I can get that probably industry, development and resources play a lot into there. That would be why Mosland and yeah, the Rhineland's in here somewhere, right? Yeah, up there. Those would be fiendishly expensive because they're very developed places with a lot of valuable war gunk. But really, 10 times more? 20 times more than neighboring areas? For these ones, at least, yeah, those aren't fully under my occupational control, so that'd be a further multiplier. Round 2, then. Okay. Joe continues to be satisfied with dismantling and rearranging the East. Pomerania's... Make my way west. If at any point they announce improved negotiation AI, that's gonna drive its way up to the top of my list of anticipated features to follow up on, because like the principles in abstract of the peace conference system are interesting. But man, implementation is rough right now. And closer. Almost secure. Well, yeah, there's my contact with the south. Need to keep an eye out for this Germany spontaneously becoming the wrong Germany. Which really at this point I've already been sporting enough with the peace conferences that if Joe tries to steal this out from under me, I'm just gonna console annex whatever anagram, abbreviation, republic they put together. There are no German republics, peoples or otherwise. We have a crown. Good day. Can afford any one state in the spread that's on the table. Okay, they've created a Lithuanian People's Republic that consists of just Memel. You got it, Russia. That's your move. And Hanover for this wave. Almost out of Germany. Closing in on being done. Just have to bet on, well, let's see, how much more Japan is there to dismember? It's like 20, or at least from our perspective, there's 20,000 points of Japan, 4,000 points of China, or of nationalist China, and 1,000 points of the clique. Alright, yeah, there's plenty for Joe to try to grapple with out there. We are so close to... If he ends up just creating a German republic that exists as Allied-occupied Rhineland and Mosland... What a move. What a coup that would be. Sneaking those in under the front. A bunch of Soviet diplomats airdrop in behind Allied lines to explain that actually the line is over there now. Joseph Stalin has been mediating and settled a demilitarized zone to impose right here. Not an actual ceasefire. There's no armistice. You can keep fighting, just not here. Satellite of the third clique. I can get Brandenburg. That's progress. Almost getting away with this. Russia seems to just be charging up points. Big moves out east. Yeah, they've created a Korea now. Not reflected on the map yet, but they've defined a Korea. Or, okay, yeah, it's there. It's just, or is it? No, it's still, that is not updated. They've established the existence of a Korean satellite that's in there. Map has yet to refresh, though. Alright, we're nearly done with the bits that we actually have firmly in our grasp. Joe. Joe, how dare you? Otto will remember this. At the last minute, the rudest possible permutation. What other demands exist? 3 very expensive remaining German states. Stuff out east. Okay, we're out of reorganized China to manage. It's now just Japan. They've also created a German puppet that is just Hesse. Presently, only Hesse. Now it is Hesse and Westfalen. Not be Mosland. Is now Rhineland. Uptime. One war is over, and let's see what that did to our front. Behold, the Socialist Republic of Germany, wedged in here in the middle. Disagree. That's not going to stand, so it's probably the GER tag. Had quite enough of you, Joe. Fortunately, the Bohemian incident gave us some valuable precedent from which to appraise a situation like this. Our agents were already ready to arrest the troublemakers and restore order. Eliminating this fiction of a German workers' republic. It's not a thing. Can't just make up new Germanys. That doesn't happen. It's 2000% improper and unacceptable. Although now I have all these exiled... Alright, let's drop time right down to lowest speed here. Will these units unexile from... Yes, good. Are in home territory. You live here. You're home. Step back to your line and defend it as able. Poor confused folks getting jumbled around. Just stay put. I'll let Memel continue to exist. It's just Memel. If it wants to be Lithuanian independent SSR, that's fine. There you go. Alright, now let us hope. Yes, everyone is still in position. Bunch of folks lost organization from standing around, but that'll recover quickly. And they have very heavy air support, as always. That's going to be equalizing any disturbance. Okay. Crisis resolved. The Neo-Ottoman Empire. Like to send volunteers. The Neo-Ottomans and the Venezuelans. Sure. It's non-committal. This is a one-way agreement. They will be guests. Neutral observers, but with guns. All is well. Be over there to protect Kyle. Okay, that's the fall of the rest. That's Japan being re-defeated by the Allies separately. And Spain has attacked the Allies. Good job, Spain. Spain, the new leader of the Axis. Left at war with the Comintern and the Allies. Well, you've made decisions, Franco. I mean, in human hands, not necessarily bad ones, Spain can get a remarkable amount of manpower out of, like, if I pop open my intel here, I don't have decryption on them, but for the generic tree, fascist branch of the political section gives you a bunch of bonus manpower percent. They can be remarkably durable for their weight. And importantly for us, that might distract some French troops, send them the other direction. How many more birds do I have to throw around? I have 100 strategic bombers. Fascinating. These hand-me-downs. Alright, there we go. Things are stabilizing. A bit. Or not. People! We're going to lose ground because the front AI is being dumb about holding things because it momentarily got itself borked from... Thanks, Joe! Job ruining everything. Now all of these many divisions all still live out here. Where the fuck are all of you going? See your zone? See your home? Where you live? Fight here. Gonna miss out on our amazing high-tier forts that managed to get built. Frenchmen will just get to walk in and appropriate them. Joe, do not get ideas. Though on the other hand, they are taking their approach to fight the Allies. If that's the sum you're after, we won't get in your way. Joe. You know what? I like the whole front. Delete the whole front. Recreate the whole front. Roll the front back from the bit that managed to behave itself around our captured slice of Maginot. Maybe rush the Hussars over here. See how quickly they can just cross the Empire, reassert normalcy. We don't actually lose anything in terms of material if those provinces slip. We merely suffer the shame of that setback, which is in its own way worse than death. Beyond inexcusable. Alright, I guess we let that bit flatten out. Okay, newly formed cavalry group. Go ahead and garrison a bit of that.
Çok. Çok. Készen állok. Értettem.
Which unit is this? Who is this attack? That is certainly a technique. Step past your enemy and fire into the air behind him. Okay, the entire proposed line of Hessian fortifications has been overstepped. Or wait, no, a lot of those were probably just deleted outright during the kerfuffle rather than revised. Of course the line hasn't moved. Also. We are reconsidering the scope of the line. Full power has proven unnecessary in many other locations, so less line. Less of structured, over-engineered, top-down, classical defense line. More smooth, sporty, modern, athletic, agile, organic flex line. A fortification can be as simple as a single shovel. Just have to be open to new ideas. Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Greece, and then Britain. That's the set of threats they have left to make. Now an aggression to you, good neighbor. Suppose I should start investing in a new Eastern defense line. Serve the eventuality of some kind of scuffle. Yeah, we have enough spare equipment laying around. All kinds of old type gear. I'll see good use. No, Spain. No. This is not that German Empire. You have the wrong contact information. You've fallen victim to a terrible ruse. The man you spoke to, sort of spindly, twitchy, bushy hair, chaplain mustache. Yes, that man is a fraud. That is a notorious con man who has been posing as an ambassador from the German Empire.
Támadás alatt. Figyelem!
This landing is fine. The high level number here is an illusion. It's like the overall progress bar here is total organization of all units involved. So it's counting these 52 additional infantry divisions who have not yet had their chance to approach the beach, and probably won't get to, because look at what's happening to the guys up front. If all of these collapse before any of these manage to substitute in, then the fight ends. And all of these are being subjected to these and these. Classic Doug MacArthur. At it again. Need to sort of invent an army from scratch. Be like 40 divisions. Stand them up out here. We can get them fully trained a lot quicker than usual. In fact, let's even more so quicker than usual. Take another quarter off that time. Need to sort this out like now, this summer. Coming soon to a battlefield near you. The next army. At least put up a bit of a token show. Hopefully just enough to dissuade him. One of our fronts might be ready for a bit of counteraction. I'll not aggress you, Spain, certainly.
Utasítások.
Nice stretch of unfortified forest. Mostly unfortified, but yeah, it seems like, yeah, if we could close off here, make a run through Bitburg, and then just the slightly dicey proposition of hacking through our old position there.
Indulásra kész.
Pull the armor, build up. Right there. Shock through. Close the gap, then we end up with a nice, healthy opening pocket. That works out, the line moves forward, simplifies, and then we can attempt further maneuvers going into the Low Countries. We can probably get a good move cutting off Westphalia, slicing our way back up to the shore. Have steel and chrome to spare. Let's get started. Experiments with small boats proved to be mostly a waste of metal and personnel. This time we go top down. I mean, fortresses have proven extremely viable when backed with modern science and technology. We need a castle of the waves. True and proper battling ship. And with that in mind, let's get the AA defenses for the North Shore up and running. Over there, some of them aren't in that block. Rainier, Mecklenburg. All well and good, and wow, where's extremely destroyed roads in Hesse? Yes, that would have happened. Get those patched up. Hesse had itself a trouble, but it's all right now. "78 years for the spillover 3 points of dockyard working on a standard with no materials. Year and a third for the super heavy. That's without all the fuel that it wants to have. That's with half the fuel it wants. There's those other refineries it was working on. Those up the chain. If I have anywhere else I could consider synthesizing more oil. In Wittenberg. need to seek out new frontiers on which to build further coal liquefiers. If you put too many of these chemical plants in one place, they just get unsightly. Dreadful. That would not do.
Utasítások.
We've gone this far with only one rank of refinery tech. In this version, additional levels are not particularly useful. If you have room to sprawl your refineries out into many small, is as good as concentrated number of big. The math behind that will change in future versions. Both they're rebalancing the refinery ratings and technologies. They're changing how resources work in general. So it would be more of a use case for having your oil place where you build a bunch of infrastructure and a big stack of refineries to all benefit from that infrastructure. Go big. Equipment zone here. Actually, I suppose the data I'm looking for is this tab. How up to date is all of our infantry equipment? Everything looks pretty cutting edge for stuff that's available. I don't know if that's tier 2 or tier 3 check gear. All this stuff is definitely tier 3. That's all of infantry equipment, unless well, and I probably will break into the other special forces types. That's it, we're done. We know all about man with gun. Final word. It's in. It's us. It started on tactical bomber, yes. We need mid-size plane. That's the future. The new meta of jet. Alright, these are all close enough. Up that recruitment drive to half size. Put the folks back on building.
Vigilant.
Congratulations, all of you are now up front. Welcome to East. It's back. There will be more of you arriving soon, and then probably never again. From those vague ambitions, I want 60 more boatyard. Or so. How many did I have planned? 30 in this block. Half of all boats. 44. 46 boat. It covers a lot of it. I can scale some of these back to 10 rather than 15. Yeah, that'll do it. We have not lost 100,000 in reserve. We've spent 100,000 in reserve creating the Eastern Army. Our casualties remain quite low. Spent like 10,000 to add another bots. Let's get the last month up on the big board here. Floating around 8,000 dead for the last 30 days. Damage breakdown. It's okay. Yeah, that's a 20 to 1 in just raw count of equipment damage. Or if I were to dive in on this in more detail, yeah, the fact that their losses include shitloads of medium tank and many truck, where we have lost no vehicles, no armored vehicles. We've lost utility vehicles, a couple. Sometimes the occasional cargo wagon gets a flat tire. Regrettable. There go those Neo-Ottomans off on another wild adventure. Godspeed. They're new here, they don't get it. They will need time to acclimatize to the future of war. Right, yeah, that initial deployment puts most of one per province across the whole eastern border. That's at least a delaying action. We will add more. Such a soft point in the line, too. Yeah, you know what? I'm feeling it. Stars are all planned up. Let's go. Tiny mangled numbers that are released. The high levels are adding up nicely. It would be more readable if I didn't have interface scaling on, where for capture, physical layout convenience, I have the game at a bit above 720, with the UI scaled down, so I have more similar proportions, display space to what I'd get playing at a larger resolution. At the price of some text is very small. The point that will make or break this maneuver is whether we can close the deal around Metz. Okay, Russia attacking Iraq, who then joined the Axis. Okay, have fun. Good luck. Chosen your side. Key will be if we can get into... Metz itself is unbreakable. Metz is part of Maginot. Got to sneak around it. Do that in either direction, then we get our pocket in Moselland. Moselland? I'm not sure where the breakpoints for syllables are in that. Since I have the full mobile army there, I can try both. Most land, yeah.
Támadjatok tovább!
Plunge straight into Luxembourg. Then the decisions happen. Either cut east to try to more directly reconnect their existing line, or go wild.
Utasítások. Indulásra kész.
Diversionary assault that way.
Figyelj!
And let's see, I suppose keep in mind, yes, this is the edge of the circle. The limits of the air combat zone. The magic line beyond which my planes don't feel like flying without new paperwork. Give him some of that paperwork. Got places in range. Send some of our bird into Benelux. This is also something that will be getting more convenient in the next version. They've demoed that you're going to be able to attach air groups to armies. Then their management AIs will try their best to follow the army around and stay in range of wherever they operate.
Utasítások. Sorakozó. Indulásra kész. Visszaszorítjuk
Alright, the
őket.
bulk of the armor is still right up here on the tip.
Figyelj!
All number of stragglers who I can revise the line here to reassure them that no, really, focus up. Your combat zone is here. Leave this to the line. Small invasion here. That's harmless. Just one dude cut off from supply. Tiny expeditionary force from India. No big deal. The other active attacks are this raid in East Germany. That's fine, that's bouncing off the harbor. And Doug is at it again. Classic Doug. If he could just land that beachhead, he'd be putting us in a whole lot of trouble. If.
Sorakozó.
That we've reconnected. Friendly, that's adjacent. We have our pocket. Pocket is real. Pocket, and with it, opportunity to then scoot the rest of the way around the former Maginot, the reserve area of Maginot, and thus retake Maginot proper. We have pocket. everyone who is now on the edges of this pocket. Crush? Yeah, crush. Destroy. Grind them to dust. That is a quite substantial Allied loss that's beginning to unfold, and with it, opportunities for further hubris. Man, while they're reeling from that, wouldn't it just be wild if we went to Antwerp, trapped all these folks, and Luxembourg was a nice little loot pinata. Full of powerful gear. Including a powerful orb. Luxembourg was the keystone holding the whole Allied line together. Some transport planes. Just a couple. Just in case I find a use for them. We're about to get a lot more numbers to apply to jobs. Find work for them.
Utasítások. Sorakozó.
Alright, so that's all the bulk that I should need for a satisfactory border watch line. And also, among all of this, we have cores on where is... On Elsons. Or was it on Lorraine? Yeah, we have cores on Lorraine out of our event. Not Elsons itself, but just behind. Going real deep into the records here. You know, Burgundy was once of the crown. Why not?
Támadás alatt.
Now that you bring it up. Alright, so the Hussars have... Yeah, we've hit Antwerp. We've successfully pushed to the sea. Now, what to do with this advantage? From there, we have directions to go. One hand, sweep north and finish the job with all of these, collecting a shitload of allied skulls. Or on the other, look how defenseless France is. We could be in Paris by the afternoon. Belgium defeated. Belgium in exile will exist in the Congo. Okay, so half of Hussars want to be on North Line, half of Hussars want to be on South Line. That's how we do it. We can afford at this point to divide our attention. Find two more. You guys. So, 12 Hussars. In the south. Take a nice drive to Paris. These 12 Hussars want to close the pocket. Oh, get them. But we're gonna have plenty of troops for garrisoning the coast. Between the meat that is currently on this line and all the additional improvement that's going on, we're going to have the opportunity to swing upwards and secure a lot of things. And the fact that we're removing so many opposing divisions over the course of this maneuver. Divisions, supply lines, materials, supporting equipment. Like, we still haven't finished collapsing the initial pocket that was formed. The moment we cash in all of those, the scoreboard is going to jump pretty radically in our favor. We've also not yet fired off the, we're a month and change off from non-discriminatory conscription, from which we're going to get a sizable jump in number before even thinking about going back into heavy conscription on our basic laws. We're fine. This is fine. I am going to need is further police units. Injected directly into the main police line. And then we